my picture off your cameras right now.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you don't have any right.
Don't approach. Don't touch me.
Hey,
Touch me and you go to jail.
You don't have any right. No, but you don't have any right.
There's no expectation of privacy when you're in public, sir. This is public easement right here.
Yeah, but you have no right to take my picture.
Under what law?
Under my law. I'm a California citizen. I have a right to stop you from taking my picture.
You don't have that right.
Yes, I do. Yes,
Call the police.
Okay, I will.
Call the police.
I will. So you have no right to take my picture. And
sir, it doesn't make a lot of sense to approach someone with a camera and say, "Don't take my picture."
Well, you can't. You're not supposed to. It's
under what law?
Under what
Cite the law.
California law.
So
you tell me if you're taking my picture. Okay, so if you're out here taking pictures, you have no right.
Under what law? Cite the law.
So you tell me.
Sir, if you don't want to be on camera, I suggest you walk away.
Okay, well, if you guys hit me in any kind of newsletter, I'm going to sue both of you guys.
All right, well, good luck with that.
Well, thank you very much.
Good luck with that. You're an idiot.
Well, you are too.
Because we know the law?
Well, he said we can't take his picture under my law.
California law. He said California law and my law.
But he couldn't cite the law.
Now he's going through for security.
Let's see if security's going to give him an education. Walk of shame, buddy, walk of shame. And the popo has arrived, just as we suspected they would.
It's not the guy, it's somebody else.
Here we go, we got backup. This officer is going over here to the parking lot. Well, she's not approaching us. Well, now she is. I thought she was going to go talk to security
Good morning,
first.
how are you?
Good. What you guys doing out here?
Video recording?
Video recording? What are you video recording?
Anything we can see.
Anything you can see? Because right now you're video recording the refinery, which is why they were called out here to kind of find out what's going on.
Okay.
You guys see how that could kind of be an issue or be portrayed as something that might be undesirable?
Well, it's in plain view, though. It can be seen from, you know, public easement where we are. So, you know, we have no plans of going on their property or anything like that.
I gotcha. So a lot of times it creates a lot of an issue.
Hey, it's my friend. How you doing?
I'm good. You're not going to bully me off public property again, are you?
No, I'm not going to bully you, but just a heads up, there's signs all the way up and down this road that say you can't stop, park, and be here, okay?
This is public property.
Yeah, you're good right here, but how are you going to get over there and how are you going to get over there? So we'll see you when you do. Goodbye.
You're an idiot.
What's that?
You're an idiot.
I am?
Yeah.
You're pretty awesome, you know that?
Oh, really? Well, thank
Yeah.
you. Appreciate the compliment.
Where'd you go to school at?
Huh? None of your business?
None of my business? Okay.
Yeah.
It's free. You're right. Free speech. Free everything. You have a great day.
You too.
Alrighty. Good job, guys.
Take care.
So, is he trying to imply that we're not allowed to walk back to our vehicle?
There's no signs here that say you can't stop.
I didn't see any, but
And as far as parking, we're not parked.
our tax dollar's hard at work.
Yeah.
I guess all the crime in Contra Costa County must be solved.
Yeah, they're probably working on some cases right now.
There goes Deputy Dumb. Maybe he's given up. He's finally decided that it's not worth the effort.
Same to you.
There goes Deputy Dumb doing the drive of shame.
The other one.
Looks like she's going to do the drive of shame as well. Drive of shame, people, drive of shame. That you were wrong.
Outside the Phillips 66 refinery in California, the auditor was filming from a public right-of-way when an unidentified man immediately approached and loudly demanded that he stop, citing what he called my law, which was, of course, meaningless. An officer later responded at the man's request, expressed concerns about filming an industrial facility, and mentioned traffic stopping and parking regulations along the roadway. However, no clear legal basis for enforcement was provided. As a result, the encounter remained a discussion, and no coercive measures were taken. This video comes from the Nasty Nathaniel channel. If you support him, leave a 5 in the comments section.
First and foremost, identify yourself. Name and badge number, please. What's your reason for stopping me?
You don't have a bell on the bike, on the sidewalk.
I have a horn on it.
Okay. You're in the street.
I'm not on the sidewalk. I got off right here and pulled up.
Sidewalk now.
You could do that. All you have to do is give way to pedestrians.
You were in the street.
Which I can be. It's legal.
Okay. You were in the bike lane. There's no license.
There is the street is the bike lane.
Okay. Just come to the hood, man. Relax.
No. Get your supervisor. What crime have I committed?
It's an infraction.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the infraction?
Just give me your name.
What's the infraction?
Just the vehicle.
Get your
violation.
supervisor.
I will.
Get your supervisor.
Okay. In a second. What's your name?
I don't answer questions.
You just have to ID yourself. That's it.
No, I don't. Fourth Amendment. What's your Raz? Reasonable articulate suspicion that I have, am, or about to commit a crime,
It's just an infraction.
which isn't a crime. So I don't have to surrender my rights. My person is my property. My ID is my property. I don't have to surrender. I don't answer questions.
I'm not
Fifth
asking you
Amendment.
to surrender. Stop moving.
You're the one creeping up behind me. I don't answer questions. Fifth Amendment.
You're saying it's electric?
Yeah, it's electric.
Okay. Just sit down and look at it.
No, I
If
don't
it's
have to
electric,
sit.
I'll get you out of here.
I don't have to sit.
Okay. Just do me a favor. Come over here.
No, I'm good. Right where I am. I'm on a public easement.
Stay right here.
I can be anywhere I want. Because you haven't articulated a crime that I committed. This is an illegal detainment. This is an electric bike. I don't need a license. I don't need anything. I don't even need a helmet because I'm not under 16. This is Long Beach. These streets are deemed bike lanes. I'm not upset. I'm educating you. Get your supervisor and quit asking me questions without an attorney.
Get in there in a second.
Then quit asking me questions without an attorney.
What is your name?
Quit asking me questions without an attorney.
You got mercy something?
I refuse to answer questions pursuant to my Fifth Amendment of the United States Constitution.
I'm asking you interrogative questions right now, dude.
I don't care. You're asking me questions. You haven't articulated the crime that I've committed, so I don't have to answer no questions. My name is my property, and pursuant to the Fourth Amendment, unless you could articulate any crimes that I have, am, or about to commit, I don't have to surrender that.
What are you so upset about?
Get your supervisor.
I'll do that once you
Because you're harassing me. That's why I'm upset.
I'm not harassing you.
Yes, you are.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. You pull out in the street, you don't have a license plate on there.
Don't need a license plate. It's electric.
Okay, you didn't signal.
Yes, I did. I put my hand to the side.
You did not do that.
Just because you didn't see it doesn't mean I didn't
watched
do
you
it.
drive.
You were behind another car.
How was it?
You were the second one in line right there.
Listen,
Because you do understand, I'm going to get your body cam and your dash cam, and it's going to show you're behind another vehicle.
fine. What's your name?
I don't answer questions.
What's your last name?
If you want to ask me questions, provide me with an attorney, please.
You're not being interrogated for anything right now.
You're asking me questions. That's an interrogation.
For your name.
Provide me with an attorney.
What's your name?
I have the right to remain silent.
You just said ID yourself.
I don't have to ID myself, absent a crime. Fourth Amendment. I went to law school, buddy. I went to law school.
It's an infraction.
Which is not a crime, you dumbass.
It is.
No, it's then provide me with an attorney if it's a crime.
I'm not in handcuffs. I'm not interrogating you.
Okay. And I don't have to answer your questions. Get your supervisor for the fourth time.
What are you worried about?
Get your supervisor for the fourth time.
In a second.
Then quit questioning me until your supervisor gets here. And when they get here, let them know I'm requesting an attorney. Be present during any questioning. I'm sorry, what was that? An emergency, right? Now you ain't gotta do shit, right? Hey, homie. Hey, you ain't do that, homies, cuz you a nigga. Hey, homie. You a cuz you nigga. Little.
When a vehicle is alleged to have committed an administrative violation, an officer must clearly state the specific basis, rather than demanding identification before clarifying the required elements. An infraction does not automatically expand enforcement authority if clearly articulated reasonable suspicion is lacking. Repeated questioning without identifying a specific violation blurs the line between a lawful stop and arbitrary detention, undermining the legitimacy of the intervention.
Excuse me, sir.
Turn your camera.
Who are you?
To record in here.
Who are you, sir?
I'm the court administrator. Turn it off.
I just want
Turn
to
it
know who you
off.
are. What's your name?
Turn it off.
Do you see
I'm
the
gonna tell
difference
you-
between? Do you
I'm
see the
gonna tell you
difference
one
between
more
you
time.
and the woman that just came out here?
I'm gonna tell you one more time, and then you
What's
can
your
get
name, sir?
arrested.
Arrested for what?
Disorderly conduct, obstructing official business.
I'm not obstructing anything. This is my
Yes,
First
you are.
Amendment right. You're not even a law enforcement officer,
You
sir.
don't have a First Amendment right in this building.
Of course I do.
You're not allowed to
It's not the
record.
United States of America?
Turn it off.
Are you a law enforcement officer, sir?
Yes. Yes.
You are a law enforcement
Yes.
officer? So you can effect arrests?
Yes. Turn it off.
I would like to speak to the bailiff downstairs. I'd like to speak to an actual law enforcement
I'm the court
officer.
administrator, and I'm also a law enforcement officer.
How are you a law enforcement officer and a court administrator?
Why does that concern you?
Because impersonating a law enforcement officer is a crime, sir.
Then you can go file charges against me. I'm a law enforcement officer. Why are you filming in the building?
That
You're not
probably
allowed
would have
to
been your
film in the
first
building.
question that you could have asked me instead of coming to me so aggressively. What's your name, sir?
Scott.
Scott, my name is Sean. I'm an independent journalist. All I'm doing
You're not
is...
allowed to record in this building.
But-
It's a local court rule.
And the clerk is getting me the rules so I can look at it. There is no signage,
meantime,
Scott. There is no
turn your
signage.
phone off.
There is no signage that is posted here for me to know. So she's getting me the court rule so I can look at it and be aware. I need to be advised of the... But I need to be advised of the rule and see the rule. I just want to read the rule.
You do not.
Yes, you do. You have to be made aware of the rule. This is not a crime.
I'm telling you what the rule is.
Hey, sir,
your
how are
phone
you?
off right now. Turn it off.
Sir, I'm going to ask you to de-escalate. There's no law being broken here.
I don't care what you would like me to do.
Okay, so
I'm
why should I care what you
repeatedly
like?
asking you
She's
because
getting me
it's
the
a
rule.
local court
She's
rule.
getting me the court rule to read.
Okay, the phone's coming out of your hands.
It's not. That would be a violation of my rights. You have no. I'm not breaking any laws, sir. Why would the phone come out of my hand?
Let me ask you something. What's your business here today?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask some questions to the clerk, and I'm an independent journalist. No one's asked me to leave.
No, Scott's asking.
I just did a minute ago.
No, you did not. You said to turn off the phone. Can I, ma'am? Can I see the rules?
You can get online.
I missed the chance to see the rules. Are you kidding
Until we
me?
get this figured out, I'm going to ask you to leave. Okay?
All right, I'll wait for the PD. That's the first time. I want to make it clear. The first time someone's asked me to leave. You told me a million times to turn off the phone. Sorry, ma'am. It's absolutely ridiculous the way you guys are acting today. Really. Especially you, Scott.
I don't really care.
All right,
You think
that's
is or
fine.
isn't ridiculous. All you had to do was shut your phone off.
All you had to do was show me the rules. She printed out the
I don't
rules.
have
She was
to show
very
you the
nice to me.
rules.
And she said, I will show you the rules. And I said,
I
okay,
don't
no
have to
problem.
show 'em to you.
And she has them printed out. And you say, don't show it to him.
No, you missed that chance.
She has the rules printed out and you
could
don't
have
show it
complied
to
with
him.
that earlier.
What do you mean? I never saw the rule.
I don't have to show you the rule.
Hi, ma'am. How are you? I'm going to talk to you outside.
Okay, well, turn off the camera, the recording.
Yeah, I'm outside. I can record. So I'm just going to go outside and record.
But you're not stopping the recording now.
But I'm going outside.
They asked you to stop the recording prior to this.
Right, but that's not. But that wasn't a law. Listen. Can I? I want to explain to you outside, so that way there's no confusion here. Can I get your name and badge number, ma'am?
Yes, it's Officer Parcel, badge number 91. The
Okay,
reason
officer. I just want to explain to you exactly. Well, I was there, so I just want to explain to you exactly what happened. So I just went upstairs. I'm an independent journalist. My name is Sean. I'm an independent journalist. I was asking questions. A clerk came up to me very nicely, and she said, "Sir, we have a local rule here, not a law, a rule, which judges enforce rules, not law enforcement." So she said, "We have a local rule here that you cannot record." I said, "Is that in the courthouse, or is it itself, or is it in the courtroom? Because some rules say the courtroom, some rules say the courthouse." She said, "It's the courthouse." I said, "Well, would you mind if I take a look at that rule?" She said, "No problem. I'll go print it out for you." That was the interaction. She left. Scott, the court administrator, came out and said, "Turn off your phone." He started escalating the situation, started freaking out, and me doing nothing wrong. All I said was, "I'm waiting for the rule. I want to see the rule. I need to be advised of the rule." That's why usually when there's no recording in places, they have signage. Due to local rule, blah, 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 you cannot record in here. So I said, "I'm just waiting for the rule. That's it." So he starts telling me, "Turn off your camera now." He tells the bailiff to take my phone, all these other things. I said, "I have a First Amendment right." He said he was law enforcement. I don't know how a court administrator is law enforcement. Something probably you should look into, somebody impersonating law enforcement. He said he was law enforcement. I don't know. But all I said was, "I want to see the rule." That's it. The woman comes out very nicely. She says, "Here's the rules." He says, "No, don't give it to him." And then the bailiff says, "Well, now I'm going to ask you to leave." And that's when you saw me coming down the elevator. And I said, "Okay, I'll wait for law enforcement outside." That's all that's going on here. There's nothing. I'm not being disorderly. I'm not doing anything
The call that
unlawful.
we got, called is they told you need to stop recording, and then when you didn't, they told you that you need to leave.
No. That's why I have it all recorded, ma'am. This is exactly why I record my interactions with government officials. And when I was told to leave, all Scott ever did, the court administrator, would say, turn off your phone. He told the bailiff to take my phone. The bailiff said, I'm not going to take his phone because I don't want to violate his rights. Let's wait for the local PD to come. So I said, okay, let's wait for them. And then the bailiff says, well, you can get charged with criminal trespassing. And I said, well, no one's asking me to leave. He's like, well, I'm going to ask you to leave right now. And I said, okay, if you're asking me to leave, I'll wait for PD outside. That's it.
Some miscommunication.
Right. Sounds like somebody's lying. And that's why I record my interaction with law enforcement. Sir, you mind if I get your name and badge number?
Yeah. Name's Officer Lord. Badge number's 33.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you. Did you see the signs?
1 second to talk to him.
Yeah, let me talk over there and then...
Okay, yeah, no problem. Yeah. Just to make it clear to everybody, there are no signs posted.
Film law enforcement, I have no problem. That's why I'm letting you record me while we're outside. The issue is that, like I said, for all the city buildings, which this is attached to our city, the police department, and it's attached to the municipal building, which is the city offices, there's postage saying that you cannot record inside.
Right.
So, and that.
But there's not anything posted here. You have to advise people by being posted.
That there's rules against the court that you don't have to have that posted. So he's printing off that information. We're going to get that information, and we'll go from there on what they want to do. But basically, there's a lot of government buildings that say you can't record, and they don't have to have postings inside or outside saying that.
Well, they do. Okay.
That's something that's just
fine. Like I said, I film in a lot of government buildings across the country, and it's just for transparency, asking questions of my government, and some of them say you can't. In the NYPD, they say you can't. I got a federal judge to say you can. Again, if it has to go that way, it has to go that way. I left when told to leave. The rule is not a statute that you can arrest me for. It's not a statute. It's not something it's not at least that I know of. I've never heard of this rule, but it's not a statute. You don't get charged with it.
Have like their own
right. But the judge is the ones that enforce it, not local law enforcement. The judge is the one that, it would be a contempt of court charge.
Would still be involved in this. Like, their concern is that they asked you to leave. They told you
That's not true. It's not true.
And then that didn't happen. So then, of course, they're going to call us.
That's not true. So am I being detained at this time? I just want to know. Okay.
Like I said, we're trying to figure out.
Can I speak to a supervisor as well? That's all right. There's one available.
That's why I asked the other officer.
Hey, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you?
My name is Sean. Do you mind if I get your name and badge number?
It's Sergeant McGuffin, number 83.
Sergeant, so the problem I'm having here is that, I walked inside, I am a First Amendment activist. I ask questions. I'm an independent journalist. I told you my name is Sean. I was just asking some questions of people inside. A clerk came out and she was very nice. She said, sir, there's a local rule that you cannot record for the courthouse. And I said, okay, can I see the rule? And she said, sure, let me go get you a copy of it. So I waited where I was. While she's there, a court administrator says, turn off your phone now, starts freaking out on me, escalating the situation. And
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Where was your phone pointed? Was it in towards the windows where they have all the
Well, no, I was far away. I didn't even go up to the windows. No, in the courtroom. No. I asked her that.
You're at the window.
No, I was in front. I was like, when you first walk in from the elevator, that's it. And I asked her, I said, can I see the rules? Because I've dealt with this before. Sometimes it says the courtroom, sometimes it says different places. So I just wanted to clarify what it was. Sometimes people tell me you can't record and they have no idea what they're talking about. So I just said, okay. And the cops and the police come and they're like, well, he can record, right? So I just wanted to see the rules. So she said, yeah, she was very nice. She said, sure, no problem. Then Scott comes out and he's like, I'm a law enforcement officer. I'm telling you to stop recording. And I was like, can I see the rule? He's like, no, you're not going to see the rule. The administrator comes out. The clerk comes out, and she says, here are the rules, sir. And I said, oh, okay, thank you. And he's like, no, don't give him the rules. There's nothing posted, sir. There's nothing that would make me understand or know that there is a rule other than somebody telling me, and they could be lying. It's not a law enforcement officer. It's not you. It's not somebody official. Some guy in a suit telling me that.
That's the clerk of court, or the chief bailiff.
Right. But again, I had no idea. So he told me he's a court administrator. I think he's some sort of administrator. And then at the end of the day, he's not a law enforcement officer. He can't effect arrests outside of the courthaus.
He signs warrants and all that.
Right.
Like I said, he is the chief bailiff.
Right. So all I was saying is that, and then once one of the bailiffs inside said, all right, until we figure this out, leave. Until we figure this out. And I said, all right, no problem. I'll leave. I'll wait for law enforcement. He said, we called law enforcement. The bailiff says, I don't want to violate your rights. Let's figure this out. Let's, we could look at the rule. Because sometimes rules have specific areas in the courthouses.
That would be my guess. My
Right.
understanding would be not in a courtroom or anywhere that window.
Right.
There's a lot of sensitive information on the backside of that window. 'Cause
Right.
that's where
Well, going up to the window, I did not do.
Ah.
Hey, sir.
So this is the municipal code. This is all filed through the Ohio Supreme Court and is approved by them.
Okay.
And it's because of the size of our court, they said, when you're going upstairs, there's a chance you could be filming victims of crimes and all that, which they have to protect the victims of crimes. Okay?
Well, couldn't you film victims? I understand what you're saying, and I have no problem with it. I'm just saying you could film victims of crimes on the sidewalk walking into the court, right?
there's a higher chance that you're going to be videotaping a victim in that room than out here, I guess.
Right. Well, anybody that walks in could potentially be a victim. That's what I'm talking about. How would I know up there?
No, I'm saying, how would you know that they're actually going into the court?
Right. Oh, I mean, this is the courthouse, right?
Well, I mean, if they're just out here.
I'm saying I can film anybody. I'm just saying the reasonableness of it. I understand. I'm just saying the reasonableness of me to, that I can film everybody walking in, but once they're in, you can't film them anymore because I can film right here from the sidewalk, right? I'm just saying. Go ahead, sir. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead, sir.
In this, I mean, they said they don't normally have to give it to you. They said that you can find all this online.
Yeah, that's what they told me.
The House Supreme Court and all that. You can find the local law,
right?
Local codes and all that. Okay. So in this packet, Rule 9.04: video recording prohibited. The use of video recording or videotaping devices and the use of still photography devices inside the Prairie Municipal Court shall be prohibited.
Right.
Okay. So under that code right there, that's the reasoning for why you can't be up there. Okay. All this is approved and everything by the Ohio Supreme Court.
Right.
So it's coming down from them. It's not just.
And that's all I wanted to see was the actual. All I wanted to see was the
they
rule.
Said you can have this.
Okay, perfect.
And I have a sticky note.
I didn't want to have it. I don't need to have it.
For your concerns, I'm gonna go speak with them, see if they can maybe post that.
Right. Yeah. No. I don't even need to have it. I'll take it. But it's. I didn't want to keep it. I just wanted to see the actual rule because a lot of times people lie to me. They say you can't record in here, and then it turns out I can. So I just wanted to see the rule, be advised of the rule. I'm not trying to get held in contempt of court by a judge. I'm never going to win that.
Contempt, it said maybe like a disorderly, because you'd have to be in front of the judge for it to be contempt. But
right.
Said,
but you could. There's such thing as indirect. There's indirect contempt, and it's definitely. That's what he told me. I said, sir, what would I be arrested for? He said, disorderly conduct. I'm like, it's not disorderly conduct. I was like, it has to be some type of conduct that's actual disorderly. I know the statute. I mean, but again, I've worked with officers here in Ohio.
It could be because he told you that there was a rule against you recording and you continue to record.
Right, but that's not in and of itself disorderly conduct. It's disorderly conduct is actual my conduct that would be disorderly, not just not listening to some random guy who says that there's a rule. Again, like he said, right, he's the court administrator. Right. But to me, I didn't know who he was at first. He's like, I'm not telling you who I am. At the end, sure. But he came up to me very aggressively. And again, all I wanted to see was the rule. I didn't think it was a big deal to see the rule.
Well, now that we're done with that and you have the...
Am I being detained any longer?
No, but since you were in violation, are you able to just delete the video that when you were inside? You can keep the recording of when you were outside talking with us.
Well, no, unless I'm being forced to under threat of arrest or threat of contempt, I'm not going to. Just it's my right to record.
It's not your right, though.
Not. I mean, I think there was nobody in there that was.
Yeah, I'll go speak with them again because of the victims being up,
right.
Potentially being up there. They might.
Well, that's fine. I just want to know if I'm detained because I'd like to get out of here. I'm still detained.
Until we can figure out what they want to do, because you were in violation. They provided.
Right. So what is? Sir, I just don't want to put down my phone. What does it say on there? The consequences of the violation. What does it say that the consequences would be?
What the consequences are? It just shows the rules.
Normally, in the rules, they'll say something along the line of.
You still maybe approved pursuant to municipal court, local code if you get approval through them.
So it doesn't say.
It doesn't say.
Normally, it will say this is a violation of. Again, if it's. I just know it's not disorderly conduct. So if you want to arrest me for disorderly conduct, go ahead. That's an easy charge to beat because I didn't do it. I wasn't disorderly. He's cursing. He was cursing and screaming and raising his voice. I've been talking the same thing the whole time.
The issue is you have the recording where you're not supposed to be recording in.
But again, I did not know. I did not see a rule. No one showed me a rule. There's no rule posted conspicuously. Now, right. And now I'm already out of the courthouse after you showed me.
You have the recording that was inside that.
Right.
Why they provided.
It just doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You could just, erase. Even if I'm arrested, you still can't go into my phone and erase it. right? You still can't. You need a warrant. All right. I mean, we're saying even if you arrest me, it doesn't solve the problem of the recording. It's not going to get erased. You can't just go into people's phone and erase their footage. I'm not going anywhere. You tell me I'm detained, I'm staying right here. Tell me I'm under arrest, I'm not going to fight you, I'm not going to run. Not a threat to you guys. All right, I just want to make that clear. Thank you, have a good day.
At Perrysburg Municipal Court in Ohio, a court administrator demanded that a camera be turned off and threatened arrest for disorderly conduct while the individual was recording in a public area. The stated reason was an internal rule prohibiting filming inside the building, yet no clear signage was posted and no written policy was initially provided for public review. When police arrived, the issue was clarified. This was a court-issued rule that could potentially lead to a court-based procedure, not an immediately identifiable criminal offense at that moment. However, demanding the deletion of phone data without a search warrant exceeded lawful authority. Internal policies may exist, but their enforcement must be transparent, within proper jurisdiction, and respectful of constitutional rights. We produced this video to support public understanding of individual rights and encourage calm self-protection, not confrontational behavior.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you don't have any right.
Don't approach, don't touch me. Touch me and you go to jail.
YouTube thinks you'll love the video on the screen. Click to watch now.
You don't have a gun on the bike, on the sidewalk.
I have a horn on it.
Okay. You're in the street.
I'm not on the sidewalk. I got off right here and pulled up.
Last but certainly not least, we extend our heartfelt thanks to the behind-the-scenes team who spent months making these videos possible.